Well, holy shit, Eric. Episode 99.
The Wayne Gretzky episode. 99.
Gretzky, Aaron Judge, however you want, whatever era you are from. Yes, this is episode number 99 of the Just Too Sweet show, and we are very excited because 100 is right around the goddamn corner.
It's not even around the corner, Tim. It's right in front of us.
And it's
we're gonna trip over it.
It's gonna be a lot of fun because, like you said, we're gonna invite everyone and anyone who wants to come on that show. It's gonna be a fucking free. We're gonna call it the free for all.
Yes,
it's gonna be a Just Too Sweet Pop Culture Pros free for all. We want anyone and everyone to come on.
We don't care. We don't care how long you stay. You want to come say hi. You want to stay on the whole time. We don't care. We don't give a fuck. We want you.
We'll talk about anything you want to talk about. You guys will be in charge of that. Well, not really in charge.
Yep.
But
no,
you know what I mean.
they can dictate the pace for us. We'll just roll with it.
Exactly. Anyway, I am Big Sexy today, Mr. Tim Tawala. With me, as always, is my tag team partner, A to the Z, Eric. Man, what's up, brother?
How we doing?
Hey, we're doing, man. We're doing. 99 times we're doing.
We're in full Indian summer up here, man. We had a 70-something degree day today.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the rain today, we would have had the same shit. But it was hot though.
We had rain yesterday. It was warm yesterday too, but it was we're just loving the weather up here. We got another epic day tomorrow, weather-wise, and then we go into the 50s and then back into the 60s. So
that's awesome. I'm looking forward to the first 40 day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 40 morning. I like my afternoons in the 50s, but I like my mornings in the 40s. So I'm looking forward to that.
We've already had like 6 frosts up here, man.
Really?
Oh yeah, at least 4. Like probably at least 6. We've had a lot of frost.
I love an upstate fucking winter morning. You know that. I think I told that story already.
Nice fall, crisp fall morning is great.
Oh, I love getting up in the fall and up there with the fucking cold weather and fucking smell the wood burning and all that. Oh my god, it's such a great.
The leaves,
smell.
Yeah, dude. It's
great.
Oh
my god, it is. It's fantastic.
It's great.
Shithole where I got ninjas now. We have to worry about ninjas running around.
I heard that
stabbing people with swords. Never mind all the lunatics. Now we got ninjas.
Oh my god, man! We're gonna have to get the turtles out here.
The guy at work said, "Hey man, did you see the guy who pushed the other guy in front of the train?" I literally had to say which one because it's happened 3 times in the last couple weeks.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on down there? You guys need a new fucking mayor, dude. You guys need a mayor.
We need a governor. We need fucking a police state just for a little while.
I don't think Hochul's going to win, man. I don't think she's going to win.
What is she, Democrat?
Yeah, I don't think she's going to win, dude. That Zeldin guy's picking up the pace.
He's a Republican?
Yeah.
I'm going with him because he is. Look, I don't like either party, but they're at least tougher on crime.
I'm going with him because I agree. While it's the same as you, I'm apolitical. I don't stand with one or the other. I stand with like you and I always say, logic. And you know what? I'm not all for the hard left, and I'm not all for the hard right. I don't like extremes, but
no, me neither.
They need to be tougher on crime and criminal. I mean, here's the thing: it's like not everybody. Like fucking Ice-T said it the best. He said, when you say something like. When somebody says Black Lives Matter and then they say no, all lives matter, well, it takes away from what he's trying to say. And I get it, man. That whole Black Lives Matter thing, I understand that totally because like people were trying to make it out. It was about one thing. Now, but Ice-T made that song called No Lives Matter. And that's about where we're at right now because fucking no lives matter anymore because it's just like and it's like, well, criminals are people. No, they're not. They're fucking criminals. They're these murderers, these people that rape children. Are you telling me they deserve to be fucking let out and fucking slapped on the wrist? No, fuck them.
It honestly feels like we're living in the purge,
Fuck them.
like a real
Fuck
life
these
purge.
fucking rapists and fucking murderers. Fuck you, man.
It's
Fucking.
crazy.
So if
It
he's
is.
tougher on that issue, I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for it.
That's what I said.
And I'm not, and like you said, I'm not saying like police state, but dude, we need, especially in New York, like we've got to be tougher on crime. You know, we got to be tougher on crime. We need to go out and enjoy. We need to be able to go to a wrestling match and not worry about getting fucked with going in or coming out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No,
it all reverts back to wrestling. It all reverts back to wrestling.
Always, 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 always.
Always.
Unfortunately, though, we're gonna have to start the show with a little bit of sad news from the world of wrestling. One of our heroes, one of our favorites, big sexy Kevin Nash himself, lost his son this past week. 26 years old, Tristan Nash, died from a seizure or a cardiac arrest brought on by a seizure. And Kevin, you know, I give the guy a lot of goddamn credit. Just days after, he went out and did his podcast, and he went out and he fucking talked about it. He discussed it. Good for you, dude, because I wouldn't be able to do that.
You know what? I thought about that, and you know what? I think he did the right thing, because what are you going to do? Bottle it up and go talk to some fucking therapist that just wants to talk about your upbringing and what led to what? It's like, no, fucking this is a tragic thing that happened. And if this guy wants to let it out, man, let him let it out. I mean, maybe this is his way of healing, man. He wants to, I mean, dude, sharing it with all of us, man, it's like, it's therapeutic. And he's probably like, you know, hey, this is what happened. This is how I'm feeling, man. Like I'm human. And it's such a travesty. It's like, sorry, my screen, I have a touch screen and it fucks with me. Yeah, like brought on, I mean, he said it on his podcast, what happened. They were going cold turkey on the alcohol. And, you know, I don't know, a lot of people don't understand that, like, when you are deep in alcoholism, like drinking all the time, I mean, this is like drinking sun up to sundown. And maybe he didn't realize the extent of his son's drinking. Maybe he did. That's why they both decided to quit cold turkey. And he, you know, phrased that cold turkey. But dude, sometimes, like I said, it gives you seizures. You can have fucking all sorts of shit, and you can die, man. Like, and it's so sad that it had to end that way. It really is so sad it had to end that way. I feel so bad for him. I mean, like you said, I mean, I'm not saying I could run right out and do it. I don't know it. I don't know how he feels. I thank God you or I haven't had to go through that. But like you said, kudos to him for getting right up on the saddle and getting out and talking about it. And I understand that. And I would like to think I would do the same thing. But like I said, good for you, Nash. And, you know, on behalf of Tim and me and everybody at Pop Culture Pros, we're just, you know, we're with you, man. Our hearts are out for you. And we hope you can get through this. You know?
Yeah, man. He's still dealing with Scott Hall. He flat out admitted he's still not over the Scott Hall thing.
I mean, his best friend, dude, his best friend, then his son. It's like, I could not imagine that.
No,
I could not imagine that.
And speaking of that real quick, he also, you know, it was brought up because of the DX reunion on Raw a couple weeks ago. He was talking about an NWO reunion on Raw, and he said he won't do it until enough time has passed because it's too soon to do it without Scott Hall.
It is. I agree.
So, you know, yeah, I agree too with that. I mean, but speaking of that, who are you going to have? There was 30 members of the NWO at one point. Who's coming out? Coming out for that?
Well, who are you got the original two, or the original? They call it the original three because they didn't really call it the NWO until Hogan. But Hall is gone.
DiBiase,
the Giant or Big Show.
X-Pac was 6.
X-Pac. You had Brian Adams, who's dead. You had Scott Norton. You had Buff Bagwell. You had Scott Steiner.
Dude, at some point, everybody was in the NWO.
Everybody. That's what made it. That's what's like it made it very, like, it thinned it out. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't. After a while, it was like watered it down. You know, it
Yeah.
watered it
No,
down.
it's true. So I
But
don't
it
know.
was still
I
cool.
agree, but I agree with Kevin what he's saying. It is a little too soon to pop out a reunion like that. But I am looking forward to do it when it happens. The DX one was honestly, it was kind of shit.
Mm.
They came out for the last 2 minutes of the show and just did a little shtick, and that was it. I was like, if I would have paid all that money to see DX, I want to see fucking DX do something. Have a
Yeah.
little fight with somebody, a little argument with somebody, a little thing with somebody. But I didn't think it was that
No,
great.
no, I didn't either.
If I would have paid for that show, I'd have been pissed off.
Yeah, I was. It was. Is what it was, man. It was just. It was. I think haphazardly thrown together. And you know what though? I will say this: Triple H is doing his best, and thank God he's in charge because he understands that viewership is down. He understands that the crowd is not into it. And you know what? Given these small jolts and maybe having these new guys take a cue from DX, from NWO, from the Horsemen, do shit that worked, and they got a good pop. I mean, the pop was good. I mean,
Oh
the
yeah, the pop was great.
crowd was way into it, man. And that tells me something, man. It's like that magic that they captured years ago. And Tim, you got to be honest with me. They don't have that. Nobody has that magic right now. Nobody
No,
has that.
no, it's the same thing. Like you
Nobody.
said, you can hate on Cena all you want. Nobody has that Cena quality right now. It's
And
just a
Cena
fact.
wasn't even. I don't think Cena was even to the level of all these other guys either. He was
No,
Cena's,
the Attitude Era was a whole nother level. That's a
and
level
even
it'll never see again. I
and
gotta be
think
honest
think
with you.
and think about the Hogan years, the Ultimate Warrior, the Randy Savage, like Bret Hart. It's like these guys were so over, and even the baby faces back then were over. The heels were over. I mean, like, dude, they just don't have it right now. And I'm giving Triple H all the credit in the world for trying to establish now
Hmm.
legitimacy to heels and face. I really, yeah, he's trying, dude. He's really, really trying. But these guys have to pick up the pace and start working a little harder at understanding that. I mean, I understand everybody wants to have the fucking 5-minute entrance with fireworks and volcanoes and everything. Like, dude, I think they should scale back the entrances and concentrate more on getting over in the ring because, dude, you can almost hear the fucking snoring during wrestling matches now. It's like nobody's into the wrestling. They're almost there for the entrance and somebody running down at the end to make a big melee. It's like it's not even about
Or the promos. People actually are into the promos now more than the actual wrestling
and
match.
and why is it even called wrestling then? It's like all it is promos and entrances. It should just be like, I don't know. They need to. I think they need to focus more on wrestling, and I've always said that, and I'm always going to because it's professional wrestling, dude. And you
No,
can
I
blame
agree.
McMahon for that. You can blame McMahon for that.
Well, like I said, like you said, Kevin Nash. Hopefully, he pulls through this. The fact that he came out and admitted that he was drinking a little too much too, to the point where him and his son decided to quit at the same time. That speaks a lot.
It does.
And considering what I said with Scott Hall just being a couple months ago, he was probably hitting the sauce a little harder than he usually was because that's
I,
how some people
I
deal with grief.
I would imagine he was, and who can blame him? I mean, but you got to know when to say when, and good for him on realizing that he and his son needed a little bit of help and wanted to get better. But it's just so sad
Yeah, and he
that
told
that
the story too that him and his son were just sitting there chilling, and before he even blinked, he realized the kid had like 8 or 9 beers, like without even blinking an eye. Like he didn't even
yeah,
realize it, and that's when they knew that it was like, look,
this has
this is
gone far enough.
this is a little far enough. So yeah,
Yeah,
they end up both quitting cold turkey, and it fucking ends up killing the kid. I mean,
he
that's
had some
horrible.
weight issues too before, didn't he? He had some weight issues, and he
Yeah,
had
I think he had a couple issues here and there, but
and,
nothing anything too
and
serious. But you add them all together,
yeah. Well,
you
and
know.
as you and I know, we're fathers of autistic children. A lot of people just say, "Oh, autism this," or they're autism. Everybody's no, they're not. Autism goes a little deeper than just the characteristics that they display. I mean, there's a neurological factor. You know what I mean? There's that emotional factor, like
And
neurologically.
there's a major scale.
Yeah,
That's why
but
they call it the spectrum. That's why they
the
call it that
spectrum.
because there's so many levels that you
But
can't even think about it.
they're like this because neurologically their synapses aren't firing normally like yours and mine, which means they're more susceptible to see. Like Elijah,
Sound, light.
my my son takes seizure medication because he's had seizures before, and it scares the shit out of me. And
Mm-hmm.
hearing that, like with Kevin Nash, and I don't know where he was on the spectrum. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I have to believe that there is something, to do with that too. I mean, combining alcohol with already having a neurological issue, and then it didn't have to be a major one,
No.
but still, it's like, you and I know all about it, dude. And like I said, I've watched my son have, like the lights are too much for him, sometimes, and I've seen him just drop off into a blank stare, and I have
Yeah.
to bring him around and get him. So I understand, man. It's like, and I that scares me to death, and I just can't imagine what Kevin is feeling, and I just don't know, and I
Yeah.
just
With
hope he can pull
with
through it.
with Jaina, it's sound. It's more sound than anything. She can't take a phone ringing. She
Right.
can't take a baby crying. Like
Mm-hmm.
none of that. It all goes right to her, and she has she'll
Yep.
have an attack, like a panic attack almost because of it. So
Yeah, same
you
with
know,
Elijah. And
it's
it's
a
certain,
horrible,
like I
horrible
said,
thing.
it's certain things. Like it's like he doesn't like these S sound, like going. "S." He just can't deal with it. He goes ballistic, and everybody's like, "Oh, he should just get over." Like I love these fucking people who are like, well, they just need to buck up, and you have to. But you don't get it. You don't understand
This ain't the
these.
'40s when we didn't know. They just called them
No,
fucking slow, and
and
that's it.
and,
And put them in a
and then
fucking
drove them crazy to the
yeah.
point when they were 20 that you had to institutionalize them. And that's
Yep.
what they fucking did to them, because their whole life they were driven fucking nuts. It's fucked up, man. It's like, so yeah, I get it. You get it. And I get it, and, um, it's just the way it is. And you just got to be sensitive towards that kind of thing. And it's a shame that it's a shame what happened to Kevin's son. It really is.
It's fucking horrible. Jaime,
Hi,
what's going
May.
on? Jaime? He said, "Oh, you're on. I'll be back in 30." All
All
right,
right,
Jaime.
hi, May. We'll be here.
We'll be waiting patiently for you to come back, Jaime.
Yep.
Hopefully,
We're not going to say another word till you come back.
we'll just sit here nice and quiet.
Yep.
Eric, I was gonna wait. I actually texted the boss
Hmm.
to see if he can come on real quick, but he's a little
Okay.
busy with his kids. He's giving his kid a bath and the younger one, putting him to sleep and all that stuff.
Right on.
So I was gonna wait, but I figured no, now is as good as time or anything.
It's
The
always not
boss,
as good a time.
the boss sent me a gift, and you, but he sent your gift to me to give to you next time I get to see you. Um, and it's what we wanted. But they're we're gonna have to make some modifications to them.
Let's see
But
it.
but he
Let's
did
have
go
it.
out. He did go out of his way, and he got us championship belts.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
championship
Oh,
belts.
boss.
One for me, one for you, and I've already got somebody who I know who's very good at this stuff, who is going to put Pop Culture Pros here and the Just Too Sweet logo here and here.
Oh, dude. You know what? While we're going on about this, I'm gonna message the boss and thank him.
Yep. So I said he couldn't find. He said he only found the tag team ones, but they were like for kids or they were like shitty ones. So he said he just bought these for us. He sent me yours. Like I said, that's why I have two here, one for me, one for you. And hopefully I'm gonna have my guy. Like I said, in case anyone just signed in, like Chris, this is gonna say Pop Culture Pros. We're gonna put Just Too Sweet logo here, Just Too Sweet logo here, and we're gonna
Dude,
put
it's
tag.
gonna hang. It's gonna hang right here.
Me too. I'm gonna put mine in every show. Mine's gonna be
It's
right
gonna
here.
hang right there.
So,
Right
boss,
there.
Mr. Faraci, Stephen Aloysius Faraci, I thank you. It is an honor to accept these from you. And like I said, we are
I am
officially the champions.
I am humbled. I am humbled by your generosity. I have no big words I can put together right now. I'm sorry.
We asked for belts and we got belts. And these aren't. There's two levels of the kids' belts. This is
Hmm.
the better level. This is the good level.
You know what? It's the thought and
Oh
and
yeah,
the
I
and
told him
everything that
I was
counts.
hoping this kid would make them for us. That's what I wanted too. I didn't care. I didn't
I
want
would have
to buy.
loved that. I
So
would
would
have
I.
loved that.
But like I said, he went out and got us two cool belts. And yep, they're going to sit right here when I get them done. We're gonna do some little work to it. We're gonna have them both say we're gonna have them say pop culture pros and just too sweet and all that good stuff.
Dude,
So
we are the champions.
so boss, we thank you. We are committed to pop culture pros and being in your
We were the
service.
first. Listen, we were the first two that signed, man. We were the first two that jumped. I don't give a
That's right.
fuck what anybody says. You and I, I remember when he presented it. You messaged me first, and then he messaged all of us, and he said, I'm doing
Yep.
this. Who's in? And the fucking first two were me and you. I'm
Yep.
in, and I'm in. I said, my exact words were, "Boss, wherever you go, I go."
Exactly. So we appreciate them. They're awesome, and they're going to be even more awesome once we do a little facelift to them, and they will forever
Fucking A.
be right here whenever we do our shows from now on.
Mine's
So
going to be right here. Mine is going
yep,
to be right across my fucking window right there.
yep. Terzio, what's going on, Terzio? Terzio, the boss. We just got over. The boss got us our belts for our 100th show, but we're going to change it to this is going to be pop culture pros. Just too sweet here. Just too sweet here. And it's
Dude,
awesome. One for me,
so
one for
awesome.
Eric. So we are very excited that the boss did that for us. He was gonna come on, but he's taking care of his little boy, which of course is way more important than us two idiots.
That's number one. That's
But
number one.
that's again, boss. Thank you. We can't wait for 100. 100 is gonna be a lot of fun.
It is going
So
to be a lot of fun.
all right, let's get back to some wrestling. And I gotta tell you, man, this Tales from the Territory show. Oh man,
Ooh,
it is one
it's
of my favorite fucking shows ever.
dude, it's great. Hey, and what's on tonight is Championship Wrestling from Florida.
Yep, tonight's
That's
a
going
new
to be good.
episode. We were gonna go on last week to talk about. We wanted to wait till AWA aired so we could talk about it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're doing it right now. Oh look at boss. When you watch this back, I just want you to know that this was Terzio, your fellow Met fan, that said this. Just so you know, we didn't say it.
It's about time he spent some. Oh God. Oh Terzio, of course you got to fucking stir the pot, don't you?
So yeah, AWA man, AWA probably would it be number two back in the day as biggest, most popular? Would it be number two? It was bigger than NWA back in the day, no?
No, yes and no. It was technically affiliated with the NWA because people would go in and out and they would cross promote. But yeah, other than there was a time, dude, AWA was rivaling in their territory the WWF. Because dude, they were making money hand over fist. You got to think about the markets they had. They had the Midwest, they had that part of Canada, they had all the way down to they were really the central United States. Vern Gagne was an excellent promoter. Where Vern made mistakes, I feel were who he put over and who he, and Greg Gagne is Greg Gagne. He's the boss's son. I don't believe half of the stuff he says. Because I think he's a little bitter and he's a little, I don't know. I like Greg, but I think he's a lot. When he was with that group of guys, he was a little more humbled. But
Yeah.
I think I've watched numerous shoot interviews with him, and he's very, very bitter.
Well,
Very, very
you
bitter.
figure in this episode, not to jump to the end of the episode, is when they started talking about Vince and the WWE, which I thought they would devote more time to. It was only like the last 5 minutes where he was bitching about
Yeah.
how Vince. Well, then again, if Vince did what they said he did, like you said, we don't know what to believe. Uh, Vince would put their wrestling matches on his network on his show.
Oh, he did.
And he only did that, but he only did it to see who worked and who didn't work, so he could steal them. Basically, like yeah, you put your guys on my show, and that's cool. But basically, it was more like an audition to see who he wants to steal from your territory.
And listen, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what any of these promoters say. Because if Vern Gagne or Fritz Von Erich or Jim Crockett had the ability and the foresight to try and take over as Vince did, they would have. There's no way they would not have. They want everybody. Vince was just better at it. Vince was a little more visionary. Vince was a little more business savvy. Vince didn't have a lot of money. Everybody thinks Vince has always been this millionaire billion. He wasn't, dude. he and Linda lived in like a fucking regular house until like the mid to late 80s before he really started making money. He wasn't a millionaire, dude. He even kind of conned the WWF from his dad. He
Mm-hmm.
he set up some weird business deal where he bought it for X and was going to give the money from it from Y, but his dad passed and it went to him anyway. So is that smart or is that stupid? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, Greg Gagne couldn't fucking help carry on when he was doing more booking and giving more. So I don't have a lot. I'm not. I was glad Jim Brunzell was on there. That was great. Who
Yeah, I was
else was
shocked
on
at
there?
that. There's Jim Brazell, Medusa, DDP,
Medusa,
uh,
DDP, and
Greg,
DDP.
Ken Patera. Ken
Ken
Patera,
Patera.
by the
That
way,
was so great, dude.
let me tell you something. If I would never in a million years recognize. I would if I saw fucking Jim Brunzell, I'd be like, holy shit, that's fucking jumping Jim Brunzell.
Yeah.
Ken Patera looks nothing like he used to look. Not.
No,
I never would have recognized that
but
dude in a
he's like an
million years.
80-year-old man now too. That's he's.
Even I noticed I missed the beginning where they said his name. I'm like, I don't know who this fucking guy is. And when it finally came up, I was like, that's Ken Patera. Holy shit!
Have you ever watched any of his shoot interviews or any of his whatever, dude? He's fucking pretty good. His shoot interviews are good. Like he's
I
done some
wasn't.
cool.
You know what? So let's start with Ken Patera then, because while we're on the subject of his main story that he told, it was the famous McDonald's story where he went to McDonald's to get some fucking food for him and what's his name,
Mr.
Mister
Saito.
Mister Saito, and they were closed, but they were doing a commercial and they had a stack of burgers. He's like, dude, I'll give you $5 a burger. Just give us it. Like
Hmm.
they couldn't do it, so he walked off. Now his story is he walked off. Some other kid came, threw
Hmm.
the boulder through the window,
Hmm.
said, "Oh, they fired me. I hate them. They fired me." And Ken Patera said, "Okay," and just fucking went back to the hotel.
Hmm.
Fast forward a hour later, you got fucking 15 cops. By the way, this part of the story is absolutely fantastic. 15 cops that were knocking on the door saying, "Are you Ken Patera?" You know, they try to arrest him, and they start getting rough.
Hmm.
So Ken Patera's words were, "They're getting rough with us anyway. We might as well fucking fight back."
Hmm.
And basically, him and Mr. Saito are dropping cops left and right. Boom. He said it looked like a cartoon. Boom. Boom. Guys just getting piled on top of each other. That had me fucking hysterical rolling.
Well, you got to understand something. Like Saito's a legit tough guy,
Hey, he is.
and Patera is one of the strongest men in the world. I mean, he was legitimately strong. Now I've watched shoot interviews with him, and he's honest about all of his stuff. Like, dude, he very rarely took steroids. He said he's taken them, but he said he didn't like them because he was just as strong without them. And he said it cut him up a little bit. You know what I mean? It did whatever to him, but he said he didn't like the cycle. He didn't like to have to keep remembering. And he goes like, I took maybe 3-4 cycles of steroid, and it was just Dianabol. It wasn't like any of these big fancy ones. But dude, think about he's still as strong or stronger than everybody without steroids. I mean, Patera, that's a real fucking dude. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's and dude, you're talking the strongest man in the world. How's fucking Barney Fife and fucking whoever else going to take, dude?
Well, that's
There's
why they brought
no
so many
way.
cops. That's why they brought so many cops with them.
But do I now back to your original thing? Do I believe the story? I'm sure that they were railroaded just because. Did they maybe incite a little bit? Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Well,
Did he really?
did he throw the bullet through the window?
Every time I've heard him talk about this story from 20 years ago to now, he has never said that he threw the boulder through the window. He's never said that he has. So
And you see how offended he got when Medusa kind of said, "You did it, didn't you? You did it." He got a little offended by that.
well, Medusa kind of offended Greg when Greg in the beginning he said, that he had to work. She's like, you didn't have to work for your spot or whatever, however she put that. Like,
Yeah, you were the son.
but
You were
no,
the son.
Medusa's a twat anyway. Like what was her big thing? Her two biggest things were she was a Lunder Blaze, and I mean, yeah, she's part of the AWA, whatever, but like, let's be honest.
Dropping the belt in the garbage
And
was her
dropping the belt
biggest
in the
thing.
garbage. They're the two biggest things she did. And after that, her career was over. So it's like, okay. And you're some good looking fucking twat workout fiend that loves wrestling, whatever.
Not for nothing. Is it just me, or does she look better now
She
than
looks
she
better
did
now
then?
than she did back then. Way better now.
I saw her on the show. I was like, "Where were you all this time? You
Yeah,
look
what the
way
fuck,
better."
dude?
I was
Yeah,
like, "What the hell is this?"
nah, she fuck her, man.
But now, Aaron, let me ask you another question because you will know. We all know Ken Patera went to prison because it
Mhm.
was, it wasn't hidden. Didn't he go to jail for a completely different thing, or was this the reason he went? I
This is the
thought he
reason he
legit.
went.
I see. Now, why am I thinking he legit killed somebody?
No, he didn't kill
Or
anybody.
like in self defense? Why do I think he killed somebody in self defense?
That's
I don't know
Scott
why.
Hall.
No, Scott. I know that. I could have swore Ken Patera back in the day went to jail for something like
No,
that. But no, but this
I
was
think
it
that's
because he
his
threw a
only
fucking
jail.
boulder through a fucking McDonald's window, and they
I,
gave him
I
like 3 years, right, for that shit because it was over.
a year and a half he spent in jail, like 18 months or something.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah. And
That's
he said all he
insane.
did was work out anyway. So
Yeah, right. Um, let's get through. Well, the one part about DDP that had me rolling was, first of all, BDP was funny, but he was pretty terrible back in the day as a when he first started. He was pretty awful.
and what
As
was he really an I mean, I understand he was an integral part in the mid to late 80s, but he wasn't really there all that long. I was surprised that they had him on there. But I guess that's where he got his start. So okay, I can
yeah,
understand that. Okay.
but the fact that he had a tag team and he had a
The
midget
the Diamond
named
Exchange, yeah.
yeah
Oh,
the
before
midget.
he was even there, yeah, he had a whole stable.
He had a stable of guys, and the reason Greg called him on a Vern Club was because he had a diamond exchange with a bunch of the hookers, although I can't say hookers, with a bunch of the nice girls that hung out at his rock and roll club.
They were whores.
Well, I'm not gonna. We don't know they were hookers for actually, but whores works because that means they fuck anybody. Hookers means
Yeah,
they got paid for it. So
yeah.
I'll go with your
Sluts.
terminology.
They were sluts.
All right, I'll go with your terminology. I like that better. But the fact that they had a midget named Ted E. Bear is probably one of the greatest things I've ever heard in my entire life, and I am
And I never
ashamed.
knew that.
I am ashamed that this is the first time I'm hearing about him.
I never knew that.
Dude, I had to rewind it. I'm like, did he just say this guy, this naked fucking midget was called Ted E. Bear? And I had to
Ted
rewind it.
E.
Oh
Bear.
my god, was that so
That
fantastic?
was so good, dude. That was so good. But DDP's a natural heat guy too. Like
He is.
he's
He is.
a showman, and he knows how to like. He's like one of those. He's a promote. Like he knows how to promote himself and get himself over. So
Oh, he
he
got
was a
better. I'm just
natural.
saying, in the footage that we saw from the AWA, he was pretty bad.
Yeah, I think it's that transition. I mean, he could talk, but
Like,
I
like,
think
like
it's that
when he got to WCW as a manager, he was a lot better.
he was.
He was a
And he
lot
had
better.
those seasoned years from AWA to learn that. So yeah. So and it was Patera, DDP, Medusa, Greg, and Jim. Jumping
And Jim
Jim.
Brunzel. And well, I'll say we'll go on to the next. I had to take notes. Mad Dog.
You never heard that story about the plane ride and the pills and all the drinking and
First time I heard this story was this show. And again, I have to keep. This is why I love this show so much. I have to rewind shit, or
mm-hmm.
or, or I save it and then I have to like watch it to make sure I heard what I heard. So
Yeah.
the story. And by the way, Jim Brunzel coming out about the drugs thing. Not that we don't know, but he was a little hardcore. He's like, every wrestler had their bag of drugs. Every wrestler had their uppers and downers. Every wrestler had. All right, dude, calm down. You don't got to throw everybody under the bus like that. We know. You don't got to come out and be like all nonchalant about it. Like every wrestler had. Okay. Anyway, he had his bag of pills.
Mm-hmm.
Decides to give Mad Dog, who by the way is an absolute lunatic anyway,
And was already fucked up.
was already fucked up on drinking. Gives him a couple pills, and instead of taking one, this maniac takes two. And I go, oh, did you see what the pills were, by the way? Or you just called them.
They were what the fuck were they called? Not halcyons. Whatever they were I think they were uppers. I think they were uppers.
Oh yeah, they're definitely uppers. So this maniac, I guess, who's already insane, opens the plane door mid-flight,
Dude.
starts chucking shit out the window. His own
Mm-hmm.
bag with all his gear in it. Fucking the garbage can is saying he's throwing beer cans and bottles and all kinds of shit. Then he takes a chain, wraps it around himself, ties it on the inside, and basically is
Is
hanging
hanging
out hanging out
out
of
the
the
window.
fucking plane while this thing is in the air.
And dude,
What the hell?
thank God it was a puddle jumper that didn't have to be pressurized. You know what I mean? Because they weren't flying that high.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what the fuck? Mad Dog Vachon, fucking crazy fuck. Crazy
Crazy.
fuck, dude.
And that's not even the worst story we heard.
No, it's
Not
not.
even the worst one. And the next one might make me gag.
Oh.
Apparently, adorable Adrian Adonis had to go to the bathroom. And we're
Mm-hmm.
talking number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So who was it that got the bright idea? Was it Heenan? Who got the bright
Yeah.
idea? Had the bright idea, gave him a garbage bag, and said, "Hey man, shit in this garbage bag."
Or
And the
bag. It was a
guy,
bag, I think. Shit in the
yeah,
bag.
yeah, shit in the bag. It was like a big. He said a black garbage bag. They emptied the garbage can. That's why he threw the garbage. Take it, shit in this bag. So he shits in the bag, and it was like an explosion. He said it was. All right, I'm not gonna get into details, but it was an explosion of shit. And anyway, they after it's over, the shit everywhere, but they leave the fucking bag on the plane for the next trip. On the
Mm-hmm.
next trip, they're like, "Hey, what the fuck smells in here? What is it?" It's smell. They left a bag of shit on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Dog picks the bag up and sticks his goddamn head in the bag. He says, "Oh yeah, this is shit, guys."
Oh.
And when he sticks his head out, it's on his hands, it's on his
His
arms, it's on his
ears, his
fucking
head,
ears.
fucking. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
How do you think? How do you sit in that plane for the rest of that ride with this guy covered in shit?
You,
How do you do it?
oh, they're fucking better men than me. I'd have been puking. It probably
I mean,
were.
I would have been ralphing my brains out. That is just
Quaalude.
horrendous.
Maybe it was Quaaludes. Yeah, you're right, Terzio. I think it was Quaaludes.
It's possible. You got a question too? Did Ox Baker work for AWA?
I don't know if he actually exclusively did, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Dude, that's
That's
a
so.
horrendous.
That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible.
It's very terrible. Hang on, my phone locked on me. So I have my notes. One of my favorite things of this was how Bobby Heenan got his big kind of like tribute in this one.
Oh yeah, they
Um,
were putting Heenan over big time.
talk about how he was the greatest talker, the greatest manager. He was a pretty decent wrestler. It was the first time we had the Weasel suit actually popped up. It didn't pop up in WWF first. It popped up in AWA
Oh
first.
yeah, a lot of stuff did. Yeah, Weasel Suit was something that even Hulkamania was born in AWA. You know.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. They had put him in the Weasel suit, but of course you get that one story, and it has to be in the goddamn South. Someone hated Heenan so badly they took a shot at him. Buck,
Mm-hmm.
buck in the show with a gun. Bucked a couple shots at trying to kill Bobby Heenan at ringside. Missed him. Bullets are ricocheting off, hitting people in the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
and they never caught the guy.
Never caught that. He's still nobody knows who it was.
Dude, can you imagine going to a show today?
Oh, dude,
It,
they would lock down wrestling events for it would be over.
but just, I mean, what's going on down south, people? What's going on with you guys?
The Southern people are fucked up. That's just no other way to put it. There's just no other way to. There's Mountain Dew, and I think something in the pecans or something. They're just fucked up.
Oh, see, I remember, like I said, my grandmother got me into it, and I remember she used to yell at that TV, like I said, like these were real people hurting her family members. She used to get really upset.
Dude,
And I was like, she's from Florida. She's from Jacksonville. So,
my my grandfather, my mom's dad, it'd be her stepdad, but that's the one who raised her dad. My grandpa Hank, he's a big dude, real big, tough. He's one of them just real tough. He couldn't read, couldn't write, worked since he was like 10 years old. You know, he had fucking giant hands. He's this big block of a person. Now, back in the old days when wrestling was still like a carnival thing, it would come around with carnivals. So we used to have a fair. You know where the fair was? The fair was over where the high school football field is. That's where they had the fair. And they would always have wrestlers there. Well, guess who one of the wrestlers was that was on that circuit? Vern Gagne.
wow.
And they would challenge people to wrestle them like a local. And my grandfather got in there and he wrestled Vern Gagne. He
That's pretty
fought Vern
cool.
Gagne. Yeah, he fought
That's
Vern. This is
fucking
back
cool.
in like the 40s.
I mean, I say that too bad there wasn't no footage or pictures of it. That'd be pretty awesome.
No, but it's confirmed. It was confirmed by him, my grandmother, even my mom knew. Like Vern Gagne. There's a couple other guys that I'd never heard of, but yeah, he would fight him. And Vern told him, he goes, "Look, man," he goes, "Let's make this look real." He goes, I'm going to stretch you. And Hank's like, all right. And Hank was tough. Like Hank stood right in there with him. But, you know, it was a put on. But like, yeah, he actually fought Vern Gagne back in the 40s. But nobody knew who Vern Gagne was back then.
Yeah, he was just a regular guy.
Yeah, just a wrestler, whatever, traveling with the. But I guess Vern was a big deal, like a collegiate wrestler, all-American, like a real honest to goodness, like tough guy. So
that's awesome.
But,
that's a good you know, story to
cute
tell.
little story there. Yeah, it's a cute little
Hell
story.
yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Those are all the biggest ones, the biggest stories from this episode. Oh no, I'm sorry, there wasn't. Two more.
Yep.
I thought this was great too. Medusa's only contribution was that when she first started AWA, she had to do a program with Sherry Martel, Sensational Sherry, for those you don't know, and she was a lunatic, as we all know. Not much of a gimmick there. She was pretty nuts. Anyway, so Medusa would have to ride with a bunch of guys in one car, and she rode with a bunch of guys. You had to ride heels. You had to ride faces. Couldn't ride together. Kayfabe back in the day. So Martel was up ahead with with the heel car, and they pulled over, got a bunch of fucking food and Dairy Queen and shakes and all kinds of shit. But they didn't get these shakes to eat. No, they did not. Sherry got these shakes to fucking pop up out of the roof and throw them at fucking Medusa's car to the point where they couldn't even see out the window, covered in milkshake. Pretty much almost right. And she's just sitting there cracking up, thinking it's the greatest thing in the world. All these guys are trying to get milkshake off the window before they died.
It was awesome. Fucking dude. It was the Wild West, dude. It was nuts. It was just a different time, man. It was just a different time. They're having fun.
But imagine today, like, fucking Roman Reigns and them are riding in a car throwing milkshakes at another car full of us. We're talking jail. We're talking TMZ.
Yeah, but you know what? I think these guys got to loosen up too, because I think they take themselves nowadays too seriously because there's so much media, because there's so much attention. It's like if they kept to the kayfabe a little more, like, not everybody knows whatever is bullshit, but it's like, keep it to yourself and have fun. Like, everybody, I don't know. It's just the landscape needs to change, because this goes to show you the camaraderie that they had, because half of these guys aren't even friends. Like, they just go do their own thing, and nobody drinks, nobody takes pills, nobody fucking smokes weed. It's like, come on, man. Like, fucking, I don't know. Whatever.
That's what I said. The final main story out of this episode, a tag team called the Chain Gang. Do you remember them, Eric? Do you know who they were before this episode?
I don't think I did.
Anyway, they decided to do a kind of like a motorcycle biker gang, like a motorcycle gimmick. Like, we're outlaw bikers, this and that. But these two morons wore Hell's Angels cuts. Cuts are the vests. The vests that say Hell's Angels.
Oh, no. They had their patches on. They had the Hell's Angels.
Patches.
Oh, no.
Motorcycle. Wore these things. Said they were this fucking, yeah. End up getting invited to a bar by a Hell's Angel. Hey, man, that's awesome. Why don't you come on into the bar, meet the fellas? These two got the living shit beat out of them by at least 100 Hell's Angels members.
I'm surprised
one of them
kill him.
Got shot in the legs. They shot him in the legs.
I believe it.
The guy never wrestled ever again. Quit right there. No. So I'm not doing this shit no more. This is ridiculous. The other guy, I forget their names. I didn't write their names down. The other guy rebounded and had a decent small career, but yeah, he said he was terrified beyond every word. These guys invited him in, gave him a few drinks, and said, "Oh, by the way, you fucking can't wear that cut. You can't wear that's our patch."
Oh no, that's a no. That is a big no.
The living shit out of them and shot one of them in the legs.
Dude, those Hell's Angels are serious, man. It's like that's their, and they don't broadcast and advertise. They just are who they are. But they ask, "Don't fuck with us. We won't fuck with you." I mean, that's fucked up. I never heard that story either. That was new to me.
Yeah, that was. I never heard that either. I was like, "What the hell is this?" But to wear the Hell's Angels cut on TV,
dude,
you represent yourself like that.
That is motherfucking. That's stupidity,
dude. You can't wear. Thanks to fucking, of course, Sons of Anarchy, but I learned a lot about clubs. All the stuff that came out after that show. You can't, even the smallest, stupidest club, if you wear their patch and you're not a member, they'll fucking hurt you.
Yeah, they'll come after you.
Yeah,
they'll come after you. But the Hell's Angels, dude, you just.
They're numero uno.
They're the real deal. They're the number one fight gang, dude. You don't fuck with them. That's stupid. If you.
Yeah, that's another story. I was like, how? I mean, I guess maybe back in those days, they didn't understand what the cut meant and the patch meant and all that stuff.
Right, because it was there's like kayfabe and bikers too, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but that
So,
was just like ridiculous,
oh,
and
that's fucking crazy, man.
I can't even
I would never
imagine.
have.
I can't even imagine. I wouldn't even do
Who?
it as a joke.
Well, and you know what? A lot of those wrestlers are savvy to like biker stuff. Why wouldn't one of them say like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like,
No, they decided just to beat the shit out of them instead.
well, there you go. Like, fucking, you got what you deserved, I guess.
Like I have Sons of Anarchy shirt and a hoodie,
Mm-hmm.
but I would never get a cut for the simple reason is
No.
every time I've ever seen anyone wearing one, a real biker would go up to them and say, I understand it's a TV show, but you shouldn't be wearing a fucking cutout here if you're not a fucking, you're not a 1%er, you're not a fucking you're not a member
You're
of the
not in
club.
a. Yeah, you're not in a real club.
Yeah, we don't care if it's a fucking TV show. You shouldn't be wearing a cut. Wear a fucking
No.
hat. Wear a fucking hat or a sweatshirt or something. Don't be wearing a
Yeah, sweatshirt,
like,
t-shirt, fucking whatever.
So I was like, nope. You're gonna get one of
No,
those.
no, that's a world you don't want that kind of trouble.
No, and don't forget there's more than one chapter. You can't. I can go to
Chapters
state
everywhere,
hide.
dude.
There's chapters
There's
everywhere.
everywhere, dude. There's one up by here. Like, there's one down in the city.
Oh, they're everywhere. They are.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Sergio knows everything. Avenue A and Avenue B on 4th Street. I'm
Oh,
always
shit.
down. That's where my tattoo guy is. Except he's on 14th between A and B.
Okay.
Not on 4th. 10 blocks away.
Not
No
on
big deal.
Fourth.
All right. Well, Eric, I said next episode. I don't know when it's going to be yet, but we're going to have to announce the one. It's the 100th episode. Like you said, we're going to invite everybody on. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good old blast. Sergio, you're more than welcome to come on. Chris wants to come on. He can come on. Jaime, I know, wants to come on. They're more than welcome to come on. But not only are we going to be celebrating 100, we are going to be finally revealing the GOAT of this show. Our GOAT who will be the be-all, end-all GOAT. Because once again, I saw Mick Foley on another show talking, and I'm sorry, I got to bring up one more thing.
What's up?
One more thing, which kind of slipped under the radar, but I'm highly recommending it right now.
Hmm?
The China documentary.
I heard about that. Did you watch it?
I missed the first 20 minutes. I ended up catching it.
Okay.
The last an hour and a half or whatever it was, 2 hours about.
It was a 2-hour one. Wow.
Really good documentary.
Okay, good. What's it on? A&E or
Vice?
Vice. Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, she surrounded herself with a lot of scumbags. Everyone on the show is a scumbag. Her manager, you want to punch him in the face.
Any wrestlers or
her boyfriend, you want to punch Mick Foley, of course. That's why I keep saying Mick Foley. What the fuck are you on everything? But there is Triple H stuff. There is Shawn Michaels stuff. They talk. But the one thing they show, because I never saw it, was called Resurrecting China. That was the one that her manager made. They actually went to fucking WWE headquarters and they filmed it. Well, not inside, just outside, to get a meeting with Vince. And they got shut out. They got turned around and said, no, you can't come in. Whatever. And the look on her face when they got thrown out was utter heartbreak.
Oh.
Utter fucking heartbreak. I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad.
Well, she made some pretty bad decisions. He probably didn't want to be part of it. I understand, but still, there should be some kind of common ground where Vince would be like, okay, maybe we can do this instead of that,
Yeah, because it was also about the Hall of Fame. They wanted her in the Hall. I think that's what the meeting was about, getting her in the Hall of Fame.
Where she should be.
She is. She's in now. She's in now. Remember, she got in now.
She is in?
She's in. Her sister inducted her.
Okay. I guess I forgot that. I forgot.
Yeah, she did get in finally. But good. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's on Vice, like I said. I still have it taped. I want to kind of rewatch it again. I missed the first 20 minutes, but it was really, really good. You feel really, really bad for her. There's a lot of footage. She's all fucked up in the footage because, it's horrible. See, let's see what this going to be. I don't know about that one, but yeah, I highly recommend that anyway.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Anyway, like I said, the GOAT, our GOAT's coming, and he's going to be the be-all, end-all GOAT of professional wrestling.
Yeah, we're gonna have a definitive answer to who is, at least in our eyes, the greatest wrestler of all time.
Exactly. And before I even get to who we're putting in up for the GOAT, I have a couple categories. Like I said, I think I announced it before. I lost the other list, Eric. So remind me if I'm missing something. We are basing our GOAT on career longevity,
Mm-hmm.
look,
Mm-hmm.
in-ring skills, obviously,
Yep.
mic skills,
Mm-hmm.
marketability, meaning commercials, TV shows, movies.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to throw entrance in there because that is kind of a
Mm-hmm.
big deal,
It's
and
important.
their gimmicks, all the gimmicks
Mm-hmm.
they've had throughout the years. What am I missing?
You're missing ring
This is
work,
one, two,
mic
three,
work.
4, 5, 6, 7. I think we had 8 or 9, and I have 7 here. I lost the other list. That's why I don't know which one's which.
I
But we'll
might
put
have
up with
written.
it.
Well, I can always go back in our chat too because I mentioned a few things in your and I's private chat.
Might
So
have to do that, yeah. But anyway, those are the 7 I have for now. The boss is going to help me make a spreadsheet, and we're going to send that out to everybody. That's why the
okay,
100 is not going to be next week. Maybe in the fall, might be 3 weeks from now. We don't know. But we're going to set
yeah,
the 100 up also for a special night, most likely a Friday night. Try to skip the World Series and basketball and hockey, like shit, and hope we get on a good night.
yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to run through the list real quick. This is who we have as of right now.
And they're not in any order.
Not in any order. This is just who we decided to
Yeah,
pick.
just fucking settle fucking down, Terzio. They're not in order.
Yeah, calm down. It's not in order. This is just who we picked to be our nominees. Obviously, we have Hogan, Andre the Giant,
Under
Randy
the giant.
Savage,
Mm-hmm.
Ric Flair,
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Mm-hmm.
The Rock,
Oh yeah,
John Cena, which I know you had a problem with, but we'll talk about it.
I don't so much anymore, but go ahead.
Okay, Undertaker,
Yeah, oh yeah,
Shawn Michaels,
oh yeah.
Bret Hart,
Yep.
Triple H,
Yeah,
Chris Jericho. You had a problem with. We'll talk about
I
it.
do. I have a problem with that.
Okay, Kurt Angle.
No problem. Okay.
Now, by the way, I'm basing this list on
You did a
5 or
lot of
6. Yeah, like
yeah.
5 or 6 other websites. This is the compared
You
list.
did yeah. You put some work into this and
Yeah,
yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't just fucking pull these out of my ass. I
Right.
did like 5 or 6 websites who their greatest are, and I narrowed it down to all of them in this one.
Okay.
That's why Jericho and like but like Edge is on there. I don't know if you want to put like an Edge in there. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, there's the boss. Boss, welcome on.
Boss.
He said Jericho belongs.
I
I
don't know.
sent the boss the list today.
Anyway, you left off on Angle.
All right, so Kurt Angle, Ultimate Warrior,
Definitely.
Sting,
Yep.
Dusty Rhodes,
Oh yeah.
Roddy Piper,
Oh yeah.
Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig,
Absolutely.
Hall, and Nash.
Yeah.
I'm not. This is their list, not mine.
I know. I'm just out loud thinking.
1 second, Jada.
Jack the cat.
Okay, 1 second.
Jack the Cat.
We have a request for Jack the Cat.
We'll end it with Jack the Cat.
Okay. Randy Orton,
No.
Brock Lesnar,
No.
Kerry Von Erich,
Yes.
Eddie Guerrero,
No.
Rick Rude,
Yes.
Jerry Lawler.
Yes.
That's our list as of right now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's 26 guys. I think that's plenty to choose from. We will gladly take some entrances. If you feel Terzio saying Golda, this is why you might be disqualified, Terzio. Because you're saying stuff like that. Orton really know 20 years of Orton.
Oh, don't compare me to Kanye, boss. Don't even compare me to Kanye.
Boss,
no.
You see what's here. I told Eric about your gift. I told him, and it's very flattering. And we thank you very much. Go watch the beginning of the show, boss.
Go watch the beginning of the show.
We went all flattery on you. We gave you all the flattery you want from that show.
We rubbed your balls pretty hard.
Like I said, this is gonna say Pop Culture Pros. I'm gonna get a Just Too Sweet cups here and there once I figure out how we're gonna do it, but we are gonna do it.
You know what, boss? Upon your comment, I will. You know what? Okay. Randy Orton, yeah, but Jericho. Oh God. Maybe I don't know. I've got to think about it. I've got to get the list and I got to think about it.
Well, I mean, the worst comes to worst, we put him on there and he ain't gonna make it. Maybe we'll see.
It's just I think of like, God, there are just too many common. There's a lot of older wrestlers that maybe You know, like why is Bob Backlund not on there if Randy Orton is, you know? And I'm not saying Bob should be or whatever, but they're I don't know, a different era. I don't know. I guess different era. I don't
Jericho
know.
beat Austin the Rock same night. First undisputed, great on the mic, charisma, entrance is on point. Can't lie.
Chris Jericho? Yeah. I don't know. You make a good case for Jericho. I mean, on right now, off the top of my head, I don't have anybody right off, but I don't know. Why is Owen Hart not on there?
Owen Hart should be on here, but you know what? Owen Hart because he died. That's basically because he didn't have a full like he would
Right.
he career longevity. He'd get a 1
Yeah, he got cut short
because he
Yeah,
died
he
too
got
soon.
cut
So,
short.
you know that's why he ain't gonna win that. Look, listen, we have 26 guys here, but let's
Yeah.
just be perfectly honest. It's
we can
gonna
narrow
come
down to 10.
It's gonna come down to the usual 5 or 6 guys.
It is.
We all know it. We all know it's gonna happen. But I'd rather give people a shot, and I want to see you know people really you know who's what.
Yeah.
I don't want to get any write-ins for the Bushwhackers because you'll automatically be disqualified.
The Bushwhackers.
Okay, I don't want to hear it. The
Big
Godfather.
Boss Man. No. But Boss Man was great. I'm not gonna say he wasn't, but
Who wrote Boss Man?
nobody did. I'm just putting Ed.
Oh,
Ed don't want the Boss Man.
I was gonna say, where's Ed? I know he didn't pop in with the Boss Man.
No, Ed never comes on this show. Are you fucking kidding me?
Now, usually I wouldn't allow this, but of course, Church was bringing up the Mets.
Terzio, shut the fuck up with the Mets already.
Wait, all I'm gonna say is Terzio, this dude had this music for 3 years.
This is the wrong show.
But and no one gave a shit about that music until this
What
year.
entrance music is it?
Because he pitched good this year. But no one gave a shit about that music 2 years ago.
What is it?
It's some fucking trumpet nonsense.
Oh God!
It's you know what? I'll even say it right now. It's a cool entrance. I will say that it's a cool entrance. It's not Hell's Bells or Enter Sandman.
This isn't the Mets show though.
It's not. But I'm just saying, no one gave a shit about this music when he was on the Mets for 2 years until he started pitching good. Now all of a sudden, it's the fucking greatest entrance in the world. I don't think so. That's suspect. Roger almost killed Austin. He robbed us of 10 to 15. That's why he's talking about Owen Hart. He almost killed Austin, and he robbed us of 10 to 15 years.
That's true.
Terzio wants to Godfather because of the hose. Terzio, I am always nice. I am just factual.
That's all. I'm just being a dick. So
he gave the music. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I was at a Met game last year.
Hold the phone.
This music came on. No one gave a shit. And even I thought to myself, that's a pretty cool entrance. No one else gave a shit.
Wait a minute.
That's because he blew the lead to Philly also in that game that I was at.
Wait a minute. What the fuck is this shit? What? No, boss. Owen does not get all number one. Owen was probably top 3 in-ring workers. 2, Owen wasn't the greatest charisma, but he did have a cool entrance. He was a dick heel. 3, longevity. No, he only wrestled from like 86 to 99. But that's a long time. He wrestled a long time. Held titles. Oh, don't be hating on Owen Hart. Don't be hating on Owen Hart. What the fuck? Maybe if Owen was a better worker, he wouldn't have almost killed someone. Oh, he's bitter because he almost killed Austin. Okay, boss. I get it. All right.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. I'm not gonna say nothing.
I'm not gonna say anything either.
I see both sides of this conundrum.
I do too, but you know. Oh. Okay. But anyway, that's the 26 we get to choose from. I'm not saying none of them deserve it, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'm glad Jerry Lawler's on there. Why is Jeff Jarrett not on there?
I don't know.
I would put Jeff Jarrett before Edge or.
But I said I base this on the list that I got from all these other websites.
I just wanted to write. Well, you succeeded, boss. You succeeded. But boss, answer me this, and Tim, you answer me this too. I feel Jeff Jarrett should be on the list as he's as fitting to be on it as Chris Jericho is. He's had an over 30-year career. He's held titles in every place that he's worked. He's gone over. He's had his own company. He's got great. I mean, he had a shirt that said "Don't piss me off." I mean, how fucking great is that? He did the fucking Jarrett Strut. You
Good, I'm
know,
not arguing with it. I'm not arguing with it.
J-E-double-F, J-A-double-R-E. Tim, he was one of our go-to promo guys in high school. Remember?
That's true.
We do the J-E-double-F, J-A-double-R-E, double-T.
Double T. That's right. And I used to try to do it with my name, but I used to say T-I-double-M-Y-T-A-B-A-L-A. That's how I used to say that with my name.
T-A-B.
So.
Oh, he's not a fan. Okay, the boss. Okay, the Strut sucks. Okay, and he's never been a fan of Jeff Jarrett's. Well, I'm not a giant Jeff Jarrett fan, but I got to give him his due. He is kind of a cock.
Technically, boss, when you watch these football players do the strut, they're not doing Flair. They're doing it wrong. They are technically doing Jeff Jarrett's strut.
They're doing the Double J Strut.
They are. They don't. I think they think they're doing Flair, but they're not.
No,
they're actually doing
J-E double F, J-A-double-R-E double T. By the way, is this a great camera, boss? Thank you for recommending this. This is good. Anyway, so that's our 26 we're going to choose from. Thank you for the tag belts, by the way, that are right over here.
And he's going to help us out with boss. You're going to help us out with a spreadsheet. I think he said
spreadsheet. Awesome.
And we'll get that out to everybody. And like I said, then we will finally have episode 100.
100.
And from what I've heard, there's a rumor that there's going to be pomp and circumstance and gifts and video tributes and special musical guests singing us a song.
Ooh, hey, I'm all for surprises. Hey, I heard the boss was going to have an alligator live, wrestling an alligator live in his basement too. I don't know. That's just something I heard.
In his backyard.
Maybe a possum.
If I had one gift, I'd want Steve to hug a possum. That's what I want. I want Steve Faraci to hug a possum.
Boss, possums are very, very respected creatures up here because they eat ticks. They don't carry rabies. They keep the bug population down. I would die. But anyhow. Ow! Oops. I fucked that up.
I would die. They're awesome. I need me a possum. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, that was going to be our number 99. Next time you see us, well, on this show anyway, it'll be 100. 100 of me and Eric screaming at you assholes about Randy Savage being the greatest and all that kind of stuff.
And I'm not saying the Ultimate Warrior is the greatest. I'm not, but he's one of the greatest.
Well, Steve, I'm all for chemicals. The only problem is all the good stuff is banned. That's how bed bugs came back. Because you stopped with the good shit. You had to go green.
No.
All the shit in my job is all green, and it doesn't work.
Not up here. I have a farm store that literally sells DDT in a can. There is no insect that lives ever.
I love it.
I had a couple of fleas in here once, and they were starting to get out of hand, dude. I fogged this place with that spray, and bro, I think every flea in a mile radius died. It was so awesome.
That's awesome. That's what we need. But a possum is just as good.
Yeah, possums are just as good. Anyway, go ahead. Or that's
it.
Yeah. That's it.
No, that's it. That's it. Next time you see us, it's going to be 100 episodes. I said everyone's going to be invited. Everyone can come on the show that day. We want everyone to come on and have a good time. We could have 10 people on at one time. That'd actually be pretty cool to see. I've never seen that many people on at once. But we will try.
We definitely want to do that.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. So what do we got for the rest of the week? I think tomorrow night, boss, we stomped you out for the 6-1 Giants, which is, again, absolutely.
God, as soon as the Giants win a couple games, they're the greatest team in the world. I know.
I don't think they're the greatest team in the world. I'm fucking shocked beyond belief that they're 6-1. But we're going to enjoy it because we've had such a horrible since we started.
Are you telling me the Eagles aren't a good team? Are you telling me that?
I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
I'm just saying I hate their guts. I'm not saying they're a bad team.
Take that away. Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFL right now.
If they beat somebody good, I'll say it.
This is professional football. Everybody's good.
No. God, no. The Panthers are fucking horrible.
Well,
they just got to win with their fake fucking quarterback. And
Who have the Giants played that were any good?
They beat the Ravens. They beat the Packers.
Everybody's beating the Packers now. They suck.
Still, it's always good. Sergio, I know I said this last time on the other show. I will give the Jets props, man. They have the legit pieces in place.
They do.
They really do. As long
So
as
do the Eagles.
as long as that coach don't fuck them up, they got a good shot at making the playoffs. So
Philadelphia.
I like that Sauce Gardner guy. He's a legit fucking deep back. He's awesome. So that's going to be tomorrow.
I heard episode or Empire 161 with Ed and Frechetta or whoever it is. Or no, it's got to have a guest host. It's going to be Howdy Doody, whoever.
That's Thursday.
Yep.
I believe
it's
Thursday.
I don't know is Ashley going on Thursday after. I mean, Ed just goes on whenever he wants, I guess. So what the hell? Ashley doesn't need a show.
I don't know if she's going on. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that far into the future yet.
I haven't either, but I enjoy Ashley's shows, so I like the Skyline reviews. I think they're fun.
I do.
And then Friday, A to Z is back, baby. A to Z is back. We are doing the special bushcraft. Oh, by the way, for those that don't know, tomorrow we stomped you. Oh, nice. We stomped you out on.
The other way. Okay.
Okay. So anyway, Ashley will be on Thursday at 8:30. This Friday we'll have a regular A to Z, our usual comic relief bullshit. Next Friday, everybody's going to want it. Not this Friday, the following Friday, the 4th. Everybody's going to want to tune in. Special guest for the show. Don't pay attention. Get that out of there, Tim. Get that out of there. Take that off now. Take it off. Take that off. That doesn't mean anything. I don't know what that means. Friday the 4th, November the 4th, we're going to have our special friend, our special guest, a good friend of the show, Tom White from Hancock. He's an outdoorsman, a bushcraft guy. He goes out and he's a hunter, a trapper, a fisherman, everything. But he uses every part of the animal. We are going to be cooking bear. We're going to be cooking trout. We're going to be cooking, you name it. If Tom caught it, we're going to cook it live, and he's going to show us how to cook. He's going to show us some survival skills. He's going to teach us what to eat, what not to eat. We're just going to have a fucking rip-roaring time. And Tim is actually going to take over duties on the show while I'm going to be basically, it's like a remote while Tim is in the studio. So we're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to want to tune into that. He might even cook a possum, boss. So you might have your wish. We might get, see that. So, so that's it. So that's going to be the show. And that's about, do I eat beans?
Sergio.
When do you guys have your political? We don't have our political talk. We're not.
No, let's have that. Let's have it right now. You ready? Democrats suck. Republicans suck. Done.
They all suck.
Done. They all suck. They're all crooked. They're all garbage.
You know what? If we didn't have such a division right now in the United States, we're not the United States anymore. We're the divided states. Let's get united again, man. Yeah, you can eat bears. Let's unite each other. Let's have each other's back. We can agree to disagree. You know what I mean? Fuck it. That's the political talk, Thursday. It's over. It's done.
It's done. We won't talk.
Show's over, buddy.
All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, Eric, I want to thank you. These first 99 have been a pleasure. I cannot wait for 100.
I cannot wait for 100, dude.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm so glad. I would never have done it with anybody but you, dude.
Should we get tuxedos, or at least a bow tie?
Let's surprise each other with our own fancy dress.
Okay, I'm gonna get like a bow tie. Well, I'm gonna wear the same T-shirt. Just get a bow tie though to match it.
I'll wear cufflinks or something.
Maybe a top hat, something crazy like that.
Maybe, yeah.
That'd be pretty funny.
That would be funny.
All right, sweet. So yeah, popculturepros.com. We are everywhere. Don't forget, we are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, fucking your dad's ballsack. We're there too. You look for us. We're on all the audio sites. If you don't like looking at me and Eric's faces, I get it. We're just not
going to hear us.
But you can listen to us only on the ride to work, while you're in the tub, while you're fucking getting a manicure or a pedicure, whatever. We're on all the audio. We're on Spotify and Anchor and iTunes and Amazon. We're everywhere. Just look for us. Popculturepros.com. Like I said, 100 is next. We are super excited. Mr. Zan, any parting words before we get the hell out of here?
Great show as always. Can't wait for Friday. Can't wait for 100 that we schedule it. And thank you all for tuning in. Go Eagles.
Could have said it better myself. Tonight, Tales from the Territories, Florida. We'll talk about that. Well, maybe not next show because that's 100, but we will talk about that eventually. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and have a good night.
Peace.